hopefully you all enjoyed that little time lapse there. You can see the terrain looks much different now. So we no longer have a village behind me, and we've kind of cleared out some of that rock face. So we did a lot of work here, and I even started to put in the mud bricks for the terrace. I always forget and love how they sound when you walk on them. But these things are pretty interesting. They're hard to get. And I tried to build a mud machine. You can kind of see it way over there. But user error, I did not follow the instructions correctly, and I didn't use enough glass bottles, so I kind of ran out and the machine sort of broke. So I got to fix that. So to take a break, we're going to come over here. And if I hop into spectator mode real quick, you can see I've cleared out quite a section over here. And it looks much different than what I have here on the left. And that is because I want to make this sort of like a little bit more sheer, if you will, and a little bit more rocky. I want to make it so that this side is more of a mountain, and you kind of can't dig out the agriculture, or rather dig out the soil for the agriculture like you can over here. So I think overall this turned out pretty good. And you can see I've got some really good stair steps up here. I really like the way they look. Kind of flatten this out. I still got to do that section there. And I'm still trying to figure out if I want to actually plant things on here or if I just want to keep them green. Keeping it green looks kind of cool. So I'll have to think about that. But if we come over here, you can see I've dug out sort of some sheer faces here. And I've done this so that I can put sort of like a rock face here. And I've got, if I come back down to earth here, I've got a block palette. So I was playing around in creative mode, and I've got a lot of things that I need for this build. All right, it was a bit hard to talk and place all these things, but I think I've got a good start to this, and I'm really excited about it. So if we take a look here, I've got a lot of texture and a lot of things kind of jutting out. I've got little cracks. Actually, coal might work in this. Might have to check that out. But basically, I want this to be sort of like a straight up and down, something that like humanity would not be able to carve into. That's why this side is different from that side. And so I want to kind of build this out along this and get a nice good texture. So let's go into here and let's give it one more pass. So then if you're coming down, yeah, see, I like that. I want this to look like something that like a climber could climb, you know? And then it'll be sort of like inhospitable for any crops, which is why this is here. And then I want this to transition over there into some mountains. So it's going to be a lot of work, but I think that'll keep us busy for some time. But I really do like the way these pale oak leaves came into play. I was messing around in creative looking at the different block palettes that I could have, and I like the black and the darker gray that this brings in. And then especially if you put it in something like this where it's kind of inset, then I really like that effect that it gives. Just want to step back a little bit more because I want to create the effect of shadows and sort of rocks sticking out. And I don't think I have this perfect just yet. I want to get more things sticking out and more things going in. I want it to be more 3D. I don't want it to just be straight up and down blocky Minecraft feeling, but I feel like this would be a good start. And then I want to take this over here. And then I think I'm going to leave like a stepwise maybe. I don't know. but I want to bring this definitely up to here and have this be like we built dirt out from it. Because I want to make it so that this is like kind of like we can't dig through this. So if I have this all the way up here and get rid of majority of this here, then it'll be like I piled up some dirt and we went that way, and then maybe we can put like a retaining wall like this on this side up to where we have this. But anyway, I have a few more materials to grab because I am quite low on gravel, actually. So I think I'm going to go into the nether and do some bartering with some piglins, because I don't have a good biome for this stuff just yet. And then, yeah, we'll come back and do that. But I want to see if I can get this situated, this like little side here and maybe up there, talk through it a little bit. And then I've got a special plan for the back half of this episode. So stay tuned as I grab some more materials. And with more materials grabbed, we're going to continue with this wall. So the first little section here, I really liked how my test world turned out, so I wanted to build it straight to what I had in creative. But now that I've got that, I'm just kind of randomly placing these blocks in different places. So I'm kind of getting the hang of what goes together, the darks with the darks, so I can get like a transition. So you can see these cobblestone kind of fit well with andesite and gravel with those darker textures. You can see those like little cracks or dots. So I'm just trying to kind of build out here and look at different ways that I can make this not so patterned, because ultimately I want it to, stick out. I want different shapes on here. And I think I said it earlier, but I want it to look as if you can kind of climb this. Like if you're a rock climber, it's not just going to be like a straight up and down thing. So you can see I've built this like little ledge here up at the top right. And, I want to continue with stuff that sticks out or is a little bit more recessed. So just overall give it some texture. I think that's pretty fun. So yeah, anyway, just kind of wanted to talk through that a little bit. The first part that I cut down there was actually quite a long time. It took way longer than I thought, which is kind of why I trimmed it down. Oops, I guess I shouldn't build myself in. But, now that I'm kind of getting the hang of this, I think it'll be a little bit more quick. But I want to build these kind of like, crevasses, all these cool little textured points, and I think I'm even going to make an entrance to the cave behind this dirt wall. So over here to the right is a giant cave system, and I think that might be cool to keep intact and maybe make a nice door into there somehow. So speaking of that door, I decided that I put it over here a little to the left. And so I'm going to kind of outline this with these pale oak leaves, which I'm using to make the really deep cracked texture because it has the black in there that kind of makes it a little darker. So we're going to frame it like this, and I'm going to kind of build around it with the different textures, kind of like we were doing. But this part, you can see, is to the left of where we just were. And this giant cave system has a ton of things in there. So I don't know what I want to do inside there. I might just leave it as a cave, but it could be cool to have an entrance right here. I'm not going to make it so pronounced. I am going to find a way to make it not so obvious that this is indeed just like the cave. I'm not sure quite how I'm going to do that yet, but yeah. So that's kind of what I've landed on here. So we're going to build this up a little bit. And I really want this to be super textured in this part. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more texture than I've done. And by texture, I mean not so flat. So not just straight up and down. So we'll see kind of how this turns out here. But yeah, so the pale oak leaves actually aren't too difficult to get, especially because I got a couple saplings from the Wandering Trader. So even though I've found the I forget what it's called, where the pale oaks grow, even though I found that biome, I was able to kind of self-serve with what the Wandering Trader got me. So I didn't actually have to go exploring too much for that. So those are pretty easy. Obviously, andesite, stone, and cobblestone are easy, but I'm having difficulty with the gravel. And I said I was going to go barter with the piglins, but I ended up actually just being lazy and digging some gravel up from the ocean over behind me. So I'm going to need to really kind of get to that in the future and build a bartering farm so that we can get all the goodies from those piglins. That might be a good next big project for us once we finish this wall here. All right, so it's starting to come along. I've got this whole section kind of done, and you can see I've started to make some texture on this like little, I don't know what you call it, like this little outcropping that I started on here. And I think that's going to add a lot to this. This is very new for me. Like I've seen other people do it, and they make it look so easy. It's crazy. Like I have a massive amount of respect for everyone that does this on the regular. I'm sure I'll get better at this, like as I get more comfortable with it. But you know, it's really kind of fun and challenging to make it look good. Because in my brain, I'm so used to seeing patterns and stuff like that, and it's really hard to just kind of like commit to a random block. But I really like the way that actually looks right there. Getting a little distracted. But, it's easy to just be like, ooh, let's place some rocks there. Let's place some more like there and more there. But, I'm getting a little better with it. And so here, I think I am going to do a pattern. So I'm going to put like a little crack there. And I'm starting to see, again, like which goes good with that. But it could be easy to do what I'm doing here. The rest of the wall is kind of what I'm saying. And then it just looks like a bunch of stripes. So I'm finding a groove now here to kind of make that a little bit more random. So hopefully I'll get better at that soon. Man, I'm kind of running low on resources again. So I think I'll just fill this in, and then I'll need to go get some more stuff. I might put some Easter eggs in this wall. I haven't decided that yet, but I think that would be pretty cool. Just some random some random bits and bobs in here. But this is kind of like a nice section to really build in. More recessed, like I was saying earlier. Let's do, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. And let's take a look at this. From a distance, this thing looks really good, I think. And I think with this good start, it is time to go on a little bit of an adventure. And of course, it's got to rain when I'm trying to show this off. So I did a little bit more with these sides, and I've got this wall built up. And I was looking at different blocks, and I realized there's another one that I may have missed. So I need to go on a little bit of an adventure. And that adventure is going to become a little bit more obvious. Let's see if I can sleep through this. As I come back to our map over here. So let's go back to the boat real quick. To our little map. It's getting a little laggy around here. Gonna have to optimize a few things. Now, if we take a look up here. So if I go straight north, there's some dark oak and there's some jungle back here. But there is a pale oak area. I think it's a pale garden or whatever biome it's called. That is it. And I want to go there because there is some moss that I am after. And I did a little bit of research on this, but not much. The only time I've kind of set foot on this was very briefly to try and grab a couple saplings. And I do know that there's some evil, evil beings. So, I need north. I don't know how I got turned around there. But there's some evil beings there. The Creakings. I don't know how they spawn. I've watched a bunch of other creators prank people with these things, and they look quite fun when you're not on the receiving end of them. So we're going to go north, and I'm going to try and find some of this moss and see what else we can find there. Apparently, the only thing I've done is kind of looked, generally speaking, what spawns around there to see if there was any like treasure or anything. Didn't see anything. It just said that the creaking heart, or whatever it's called, sometimes shows up in the bottom of these pale oak trees. So I'm going to kind of look for those as well. Now, I do know that there's some resin that you can get. I have zero idea what it is, how to use it, any of that. So this is going to be a fun little adventure here. I just got to make sure I find the right place. It's like snowing, but not snowing and all of this. I think it's over here, past this birch. Yeah. Because it's like right over here at the edge. Aha. It should be on top of this over here. Yes, I see it. There we go. Okay. So I want to come explore this. And I have a feeling that the moss is going to work the same way. But yeah, see, this is all I want. This moss. Fantastic. Because I think this will be a good texture and a little easier to obtain than gravel at the moment until I build a piglin bartering farm. So I'm going to go ahead and collect some of this. And this is, I was talking about going on a little adventure, and this is really it. It could be a little anticlimactic, but I fully expect these scary creaking deals to be around here. So I'm trying to keep an eye out. I don't know how they spawn. I know what they look like. And maybe I'll get a good jump scare if they come out and get me. But I'm just going to kind of grab this moss because I think it looks good. Man, the grass in this biome is pretty as well. So let's hope that there's not too much like dangerous things about, for my sake, but for your sake, maybe you are hoping that there is. So let's grab just a few of these, see if we can get some more saplings. There we go. And I want to see it. It says like in the base itself, there's stuff. Okay, I got one sapling out of that. Okay, that's interesting that it grows like that. That's all just the carpet itself. This is interesting. New biome for me. I'm like scared that these things are just gonna spawn out of nowhere. I don't know what the chance of them spawning is. I don't know what the heart like generating looks like. I truly have no idea. Hear a zombie though. Whoa. Okay. Woof. Alright. That was scary. A little jump scare. The zombie itself was not scary, but, you know, I am very jumpy. Let's see. What do I not need? I don't need these. The good news is I just got to remember that I have rockets. And those rockets I can just use right away. Do I have shears? I do have shears, and I don't actually need dirt. Okay. I don't need rotten flesh. I don't need that. Let's grab some of this. I want to... Oh, it's just regular grass. Darn. So it's just the biome that it makes it gray. I was hoping that, like, it stayed gray. Okay. I do need your gunpowder because That would be nice. Now, is this leaf litter or just regular leaf litter? Yeah, it is. Okay. So the color is really coming out due to the biome it's in. There's nothing special. Like, this pale moss I do know is, like, its own thing, but... let's build these rockets real quick. So I have a good escape route. Whoa! Do I have bone meal on me? I do. I want to see something. Does this work like other things? Like if I do... Yes, it does. Okay, cool. So I don't need to go ahead and grab a whole bunch. I just need to grab just this. Okay, and as long as I have bone meal, that should be good. And I think the carpet will be good for texture too. Okay, so this is really the block that I am after, and I want to incorporate that in. Let's go up here. Now these things, these vines, are these regular vines or are they... Nope, they are gray. I don't need the grass. These gray vines could be pretty cool as part of a decoration, so I'm just gonna grab a couple of these. Don't mind me. But I do want to find some resin, although I'm terrified. Now, what happens, like, do these creakings come out at night? I'm scared. Also, this rain is obnoxious. I really wish it wasn't raining. Good news is I can just go straight south after this and go home, but... Let me just take a screenshot of the coordinates here. Okay. It's unfortunate that the grass only turns gray in the biome. But I think these vines should be pretty cool. Oh my goodness, I am like terrified. Oh, that's an Enderman. Oh my gosh. I do know, like, with these creaking guys, like, if you look at them, they don't, like, they, like, freeze in their place, but I don't know anything else about them. Ooh, what are these? Oh! Those are those flowers that open up at night. Hold on. Let's make sure I'm not looking at anything. Let's get rid of this leaf litter, because I want some of these guys. Oh, you can make a soup out of them? Interesting. That's fun. What are these called? Let me get over here where things can't get to me. These are open eye blossom. Hi. You're struggling. That was a very easy way to get to me. I don't know why they were having trouble. I'm like absolutely terrified. May not sound like it, but I'm just like a very jumpy person. Okay. Yep, we're going. I heard a sound that I've never heard before. We're done. We are done here. We're gonna do that for another day. But if I come straight south, I should come back. Oh wow, that is on fire. Should come back to my little agriculture area. Still going south? Okay. I really wish it would stop raining. It's always like right when I start recording that it's like, oh yeah, time to rain. I guess that's Minecraft, right? Civilization coming up. Alright. This should be, yep, there we go. the agriculture area. I can sleep away this rain. Trying to conserve rockets here. Are those 2 Endermen? Yep. Oh, I guess I should talk about that a little bit. I'm going to turn off Enderman griefing because it's just obnoxious to me. I don't know if there's a way to prevent it besides like a mod or a data pack, but I just absolutely hate it. And I'm going to turn it off because it destroys builds and I don't like it. Okay, so we are going to do the thing. I need to put 1 there so I remember that I have it there. How much? Okay, I got 59 bone meal. That's great. Cool. So let's come back over here, and I'm going to mix in a few more of these blocks. I want your bones. I want your bones. There we go. Great, 7 bones. But I want to mix in a few of these blocks because I think these are another one that I don't know how I missed it, but, you know, I was just kind of scrolling through in creative mode and kind of finding different things. I guess it didn't come up. But, like, I think this is a good alternative to, like, some gravel. And it goes really well with these, obviously, the pale oak leaves. But, yeah, so it's got a nice dark color to it. And I think that will help. So I'm going to place a few of these and, you know, try and add some variation in here. Can I get it? Nope. So we'll put it up here. But yeah, so I thought this block was pretty neat. I like the texture that's going on here. And then I think it just really needs to be something like this to add a little bit more shadow. Kind of like, you know, the leaves themselves kind of works really well within these. Maybe put it here. I haven't done this side yet. I gotta do that. Then maybe we put 1 there. And these ones are gonna be kind of used sparingly, similar to that. But I already like that, how it kind of darkens and makes a little bit of a shadow. Let's do that. Yeah, see, look, that looks much better. It's kind of similar texture to gravel. But I want to really get some variation going up here, so very excited about this. I don't think I need it up here too high, because I don't think I have very much in here. But I just want little accents here and there. And I think it goes well with there. It goes well with the cobblestone. It's got like a little bit more, I don't know, maybe you'll agree or disagree. Let me know in the comments, but it looks like more greenish to me. I'm terrible with colors though, so you'll have to let me know. Okay, let me go up here because this definitely needs some. Let's do this. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. But yeah, see that little splash of color? Like if I really tie it in, and then here I've got that, what if I put it on the bottom here? Like going up, and so instead of this stone, we got this. And then I'm too much of a wimp to face those creakings without looking them up first. Yeah, look at that. Got some really good texture on there. But I'll have to look those up and fight those another day. You know, I feel a little bad for just dipping, but you know, it is what it is. I'm scaredy cat. I'm willing to admit. Cool. So I think in between episodes, I'm gonna kind of expand this out a little bit, but let's get into, you know, spectator mode here. I really do like the way this pale moss looks, so I'm gonna add it into the build a little bit, and I'm gonna kind of finish up this side in between episodes. Maybe get some of that done, and then yeah. So I think, you know, this episode's taken a little bit longer to get out. I am traveling, so my internet connection is not the best where I have been. Now I'm kind of back, so apologies for the delay, but should be getting out to you very soon after recording this. But in my sort of off time, I'm going to finish up this full side now that I have time and I have the materials. And then, yeah. So, again, really appreciate all the support from everyone. And, you know, it's been a good going so far in this world. I want to get a lot more done. And so thank you for sticking around, for tuning in. If you like the video, please give it a like and feel free to subscribe. But with that, I'm going to end the episode here. Made a little bit of progress on this wall. And then when we get back, we're going to have a lot more fun things ahead. Maybe some more creakings. I do want to explore the woodland mansion. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode.